Now, the next thing, actually what we're going to complete with this today is I'm going to show you how to cut the piece dimensionally so it will fit back in the kitchen, actually dimensionally for the piece itself. Secondly, I'm going to go ahead and make a cut for the undermount sink. We were replacing an overmount piece like this, and we're making it an undermount. I've put my masking tape down, my blue masking tape, put my template down on here, make sure it's centered, make sure it's the back set. Of course, I told you I put the bowl up here, and we're going to make this a flush cut. Now, we're going to zoom in on this corner to show you how rough it is in the corner before I use the zero tolerance wheel. Because when you cut like that, you actually wind up making crosshatch marks. So you have to get rid of those before you start to polish. So the next thing I'm going to do is show you just a quick demonstration of how you smooth it out. I've stopped using the zero tolerance wheel. You can see back in this corner how smooth I've gotten it after seeing that stall, that crosshatch mark that we had before. Now we're ready to go ahead and step up to the polishing pads, and we're going to be using dry diamond polishing pads, 4-inch diameter, and I'll show you the process that we need to do to get to our final polish, and also how to round over the top. Start out with our 50 grit and actually smooth out the edges, and you have to smooth them out till the lines are gone from your cutting. So I'm going to go ahead and start right now. Now we've just gone from 50 to 100 grit to 200 grit to 400 grit. We've just finished the 400 grit, and I think Marshall is actually zooming in on it a little bit. But you can see how there were a few little fissures, not necessarily scratches, but as the stone polishes up, it tightens up the pores somewhat. And you'll see that they're kind of a lighter colored white, depending on what color stone you're dealing with. And as you polish them up in the grits, those will start to close up, and you'll see it where it's actually a nice smooth finish, and it's all the same color. Next, we're going to go on up to the 800, 1500, and then I'll see where we look like as far as polish from that point, because we may not need to go all the way up to the buff like I mentioned before. We're just finished with a 1500 grit, and it's looking like it's it's ready to go. What I'll do is I'll go ahead and try the 3000, and if the 3000 doesn't give me any change, then I'll go ahead and put the 1500 back up, go over where my 3000 was. Now, next I'm going to, we're done polishing. The 3000 did a little bit of good, so you can see the color once we zoom in on the core bit drilling. But on the core bits, what we're going to do is drill a hole for the faucet. Today I'm using a suction cup with a guide, and this happens to be an 1 3/8 bit. That's an 1 3/8 guide. So all you have to do is put this down right over the hole, push down on it, and it's suction cupped to the top so that your bit doesn't scoot around. But if you try and freehand it, it'll have a tendency to just move around, skate across the top, and you've ruined the top. Not necessarily ruined it, but it takes a lot of repair work to fix a scratch in the surface. So I'll show you how to line this up, and then I'll go ahead and drill my hole. Done, the core should look like this. Nice smooth plug, no tears or anything else. That's because I went slow enough to make sure that whenever I was getting down to the very bottom of the hole, that it actually went through and just cut through very nicely. It didn't punch through because it didn't have a lot of weight on the machine, because the diamonds will cut by themselves. One final note. This is what you can accomplish with the right tools, and they aren't that expensive anymore. They used to be very expensive and only for stone production, production shops. But you can accomplish this yourself, very simply, very easily, with the proper tools. And don't forget to visit our website. That's toolocity.com. That's TOOLOCITY.com. Our 1-800 number is 1-800-980-7808. And you can call for any technical questions if you're running into problems yourself. Please give us a visit.